Big news on media and big tech layoffs. Let's break this down. Why is it happening? Okay, couple things. Big tech is going to lay off anytime you're going to get to an end of a year and their fiscal situation, and you look at inflationary forces, you look at, is there going to be recession? Interest rates are higher. Those are all the factors. Here's what those factors cause. The cost of employing someone is more. The cost of employing someone is more. So you'll see major companies, major media companies that will staff up when it's easier to borrow money, meaning the interest rate is lower. We saw a lot of that with record interest rates. They were so low for so many years. And then as the Fed over the last 2 years began to raise rates, the cost to borrow money, and many times large companies, certainly media companies that are very speculative, certainly tech companies that are very speculative, they will borrow money for talent, right? And so if it doesn't pay off, remember, they're speculative. There's a little bit of gambling here, you know what I mean? A little bit of craps. Okay, here we go. Gonna roll and let's see if it works. What do? They start laying people off when the bet doesn't play out. So don't read too much into it. You'll see large companies, tech companies that lay people off. Now, the media side is very interesting. When you see companies like Vox Media, Condé Nast, I mean, they're in the magazine game, Unity, Data Miner, One, these are, again, data companies, tech companies, media companies. Let's talk about media. We live in the wild, wild west of media. You think about it. For decades, we've had radio, newspaper, television, and now all of a sudden, YouTube, podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, you just go down the list. I mean, for crying out loud, I got Disney Plus. I got, thank God, Hulu's on Disney Plus now. I've got Netflix. I've got Amazon Prime. Why? It's killing me. It's really not. But why do I have them? Diversification of media. When I was growing up, Alex, you got 3 channels: ABC, NBC, CBS, and if you had those rabbit ears, you could get the PBS station every once in a while. I put foil on it, it'd come in pretty clear. The world's changed, so people's habits are changing. What does that mean? Media companies specifically, they are having to adjust big time. The wind is constantly changing. So what do we read into these layoffs? It's the nature of those industries. Now, real quick, what do you do? What do you do if you've been laid off? What do you do to plan for a layoff? Let's take the first question. If you've been laid off, first thing I want you to do, take a couple of days to heal, to laugh, to be grateful. Get your head and heart right, because it sucks. It's the equivalent of losing a loved one. It sucks. Take a couple of days and let's just kind of flush it out. Now, after a couple of days, let's immediately begin to connect. Tell people, tell your stories. No shame in your game. You're a victim of a massive corporate play many times, and being laid off is not the shame-inducing act that you think it is. You're just like everybody else. Nobody gets away with it. I've been laid off and I've been fired. How about that? So there you go. Now, how do we make ourselves layoff proof really quick? Here's the deal. Diversify your opportunities. Have a side hustle that you don't put all your eggs in. Be ready to go at a moment's notice on freelance work, or instead of a side hustle or ready to go at any time on freelance, how about starting to do some freelance? Why? Maybe you don't even need the money. Maybe it's going to squeeze your time a little bit. But by always staying active as a freelancer, you open yourself up to recovering quickly and financially stack all of it. So if you get laid off, you go, I've built a separate fund over here. It's my freelance fund that keeps me free to go anywhere I want to go if I get laid off. So I hope you see layoffs a very different way now, and that you realize you're not immune to it, but you can absolutely guard yourself from getting destroyed by it.